Hey, welcome everyone, it's Vesper, and it's time for another patch note breakdown video. Today we're going to do Akuma. Now, we're going to have to spice this one up a little because the way the patch notes are written, it's a ton of gibberish. So we're going to have to do this my way to make it as clear and easy to understand as possible, rather than reading the notes in order one by one. So first, let's talk about the quality of life / consistency changes first. So firstly, the medium kick version of Akuma's Tatsu now has reduced knockback on the third and final hit. This means that it's much easier to juggle into his EX uppercut without the opponent dropping out. So if the opponent throws like a fireball and you're using medium Tatsu to get through it, you can convert into more damage without worrying about getting blown up for it. Secondly, the EXDP itself also has an extended hitbox forward for the same reason, for juggles, for consistency, to make sure the opponent doesn't drop out of it, and even when using it as an anti-air. I've seen the EXDP actually drop out with Akuma quite often in tournaments when you're trying to do a clutch anti-air from far away. It's also going to help with one of Akuma's new B&Bs with V-Skill 2, which I'll show in a second. The last quality of life change is Akuma's heavy kick version of his Tatsu. So same thing, if you hit with the very tip of it, all the hits should convert and you should get that last hit for the knockdown. So let me show you guys an example. Usually if you hit with the very tip of this, the last hit will miss. So this is going to help a lot with his new combos that he's going to be getting. And once again, more consistency when you're juggling into this, because you want that knockdown. Okay, first actual change now. Akuma's EX Tatsu now juggles after his light Tatsu. So this is going to open up a bunch of new combo routes for Akuma, and it works really well with his new V-Skill 2 and VTrigger 2. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, the rest of Akuma's patch notes have to all do with V-Skill 2 and VTrigger 2, which have been completely reworked from the ground up. So now I have to kind of reintroduce you to it and explain what it does. So let's begin with Akuma's brand new V-Skill 2. First, when you tap V-Skill 2, Akuma will go into his power stance. It also has its own hitbox, and will also give you V-Gauge if you hit the opponent with it. You can also hold down the V-Skill, and it'll gradually increase your V-Gauge up to 1 bar. The V-Skill itself has a hitbox at the top and the front. It can even neutralize projectiles. You can also cancel his V-Skill 2 from any cancelable normal attack. While doing V-Skill 2, you can input half circle back punch for a powered up version of Akuma's red fireball. You can even do this while holding it down. This means Akuma can neutralize a projectile and counterattack with his own, and of course combo into it. Keep in mind Akuma can't move while he's charging his V-Skill 2, and he gains additional V-Gauge when he lands his powered up red fireball. Now I'm sure everything I just said to you guys sounds familiar if you're already an Akuma player. This is where things change though. Before this patch, Akuma had to cancel his V-Skill to get the powered up version of the fireball. Now he no longer has to do this. Now if he uses V-Skill and chooses not to cancel it into the powered up red fireball, it's now stored. You can see on the bottom left of the screen that his V-Skill 2 is now flashing. This means from any point, when you do your next red fireball, it will now be the powered up red fireball. Now these powered up fireballs have also changed from the previous patch. Now all 3 strengths, light, medium, and heavy, start up ridiculously fast at 13 frames each. They also all do 2 hits across the board. For comparison, Akuma's light red fireball, the normal version, starts up in 18 frames, and his heavy version starts up in 25. So this means that the difference in strength of the powered up red fireballs is just the speed. All 3 strengths of Akuma's new red fireball does the same damage and stun. And like I said before, unlike the previous patch, instead of doing 1 hit, they all do 2. Now here comes the crazy part. When you store a V-Skill 2, you can also do the powered up EX version anytime you want. This also starts up in 13 frames, and instead of doing 4 hits like before, it does 5 now. It's also absurdly plus on block, plus 11. Now on top of that, there's even more changes. The powered up versions of the red fireballs also cause a bigger knockup, allowing brand new B&Bs and conversions for Akuma. This also brings his V-Skill 2 B&Bs more in line with his V-Skill 1. And you can see from the heavy Tatsu change, the heavy Tatsu lands all the hits. And same with the EX uppercut change. And here I'll show that medium Tatsu change as well. So you can see all the quality of life changes working together here. This also gives Akuma new ways to get into VTrigger. And of course, this changes the VTrigger 1 combo routes themselves. Okay, let's move on to Akuma's VTrigger 2 now. This has also been completely reworked. So before this patch, what it did was it allowed you to cancel any of his normal attacks or special moves into the EX version of his special moves. When you did cancel it this way, it drained V gauge rather than super meter. So now the difference is that you can cancel into your normal special moves now, or your EX versions, and you can mix and match in between. And this includes all 3 strengths of your normal attacks. The amount of things you can do with this VTrigger now is endless. The community hasn't even scratched the surface on it. It is completely freestyle now. The possibilities are pretty much endless. You can pretty much personalize your own combos and just make up anything you want, even setups. I would imagine the block strings are crazy as well. And if you combine this with his V-Skill 2 change, there's going to be so many different combos now. And don't forget, this is a 2-bar V-Trigger as well. I'm just making this up as I go. I can't wait to see what people come up with this thing. It's so crazy. And that's a wrap, guys. These are all the changes for Akuma for the final season of Street Fighter V. If you guys enjoyed this video or you learned something, I would appreciate a like, and of course, subscribe if you guys want to be notified of our next patch note video, and of course, Street Fighter 6 news. I think these changes are really cool. At the very least, if they don't make Akuma stronger, it makes him a lot more fun, man. There's an endless amount of things you can do, and it'll keep you busy for the rest of the year. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of these changes in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.